All right, guys, today on CB Off-Road, we're going to be getting the Comanche ready to go on a pretty much 2-month journey to Utah. So it's going to go to EJS, and then it's going to go to Sand Hollow in May, and we have to get it ready for both of those things. So I've got a little list going right here that you can see, and we're just going to kind of knock those things off. Honestly, knock on wood, it doesn't seem to need too much stuff. Just a couple little maintenance things that I've found, and just kind of your typical checking fluid stuff like that. So that really makes the whole trip in May actually a lot closer, because the Comanche has to leave like March, end of March or so, and that's a little bit closer than I thought. So right now it's February 24th, so I've still got about a month to get it ready, but this stuff just sneaks up on you. And not only do you got to get the rig ready, but you got to get the tow rig ready, you got to get the trailer ready. So there's just a lot of things that go into driving all the way across the country. It's not just like, let's load up and go. So let me take you through what we're going to do on the Comanche today, and we'll go from there. All right, so I've got a little list going. Again, nothing too crazy. First of all, inspect rear drive shaft / order new one. I took this truck to get the rear pinion seal changed by my buddy Jody Treadway, and he said when he went to take the rear drive shaft off, it was totally, the slip in the drive shaft was totally seized, like he couldn't get it to compress. I had no idea. I just took that to him because I really didn't feel like messing with the pinion seal. He can do it in like 10 minutes, so I was like, let's just let him do it. And he told me that, so I'm going to take the rear drive shaft off and kind of check it out today. So I'm going to do that. Ensure lockers are working. So I think just before a trip, it's just good to check that right there, so you're not checking that out on the trail. So I'm just going to jack it up, put it on some jack stands, flip the switches, make sure everything engages the way it's supposed to. Tighten and paint bolts. So I've been having a couple bolts come loose on me. I got this stuff right here from Revlock Race Supplies, I think is what it's called. Gonna tighten all the bolts that are kind of problem bolts, suspension, track bar, steering, all that stuff, and paint them. And that way, if we're out on the trail, I can see if something is loose. First thing I'm gonna do is pull that rear drive shaft off, see what it's about, and then I'll start painting bolts and that kind of thing. So yeah, here we go. All right, we got it out of there. Super big pain in the butt to get out a drive shaft that doesn't compress or extend. It's kind of the whole point. So I've sprayed some PV Blaster up in here. I'm gonna see if I can get it to start compressing and running up the slip again. I had to pull the caps off the U-joint. Luckily I didn't lose all the needle bearings out of it, but I had to pull the caps off of the U-joints to get the actual drive shaft out. So we'll see what we can do. All right, we got it out. Did some beating and prying and all kinds of stuff. Sorry, you can definitely hear our washer and dryer back there going, but I can't get any movement out of this slip. I have beat it to death with a dead blow. I've pried on it with a pry bar. Can't do anything, so I've just taped up the U-joint, and I guess I'm just gonna put this in my pile of drive shafts over here. I guess this one gets to join the drive shaft party. My buddy Chris Durham can get drive shafts from Tom Woods like one business day to us. So I'm just gonna pull some measurements and get one from him. And I run a Tom Woods drive shaft in the front of this thing. I've never had an issue with it. So yeah, gonna do that, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'll just keep that one as a spare, I guess. So kind of halfway check mark on that part of the list. All right. So we got a new one on order, pulled the rear one. Now we're gonna need to make sure the lockers are working. All right, got everything kind of marked and painted. You can see there all the steering pinch bolts and jam nuts and stuff like that are painted up. Control arms, jam nuts, cross member bolts, you know, stuff that if it comes loose, you're gonna be having a really bad day. So boom. This one I'm not gonna do today because it's pretty much one of those things you kind of want to do right before you leave. And we've got a while before we leave, so I really wanted to get these three knocked off. I'm gonna wait for this one because I think this noise that I'm hearing is the drive shaft not being able to slip. So I'm just gonna check that after I get a new drive shaft put in it and go from there. So yeah, pretty productive day. All right, we have got a sweet package that just showed up from Tom Woods Drive Shafts. It is a new drive shaft for the rear of the Comanche. So we are going to get that thrown in. We're actually under a tornado warning right now, which is crazy for us in the mountains. We don't ever get those because tornadoes typically can't really function well here. So I typically will have a lot more light shining underneath the vehicle because the garage door will be open. But with a tornado warning, it's piss pouring rain outside sideways. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that shut, and I'll just have to get you guys some lighting under there. So I'm gonna get this unboxed and we'll get it put in the Jeep. Woo! Big girl. So I had a 2.5 inch diameter drive shaft. I ordered this, like I said, from my buddy Chris Durham. He's a Tom Woods drive shaft dealer, so he can get them really quick to us. He said that I should go with a 3 inch diameter drive shaft. I don't think I'm gonna have any clearance issues because my drive shaft area is pretty open in the truck. But man, looking at this thing in person, it's freaking huge. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So something cool about Tom Woods as well is that they send hardware with their drive shafts. And I don't know if you've ever went to install a drive shaft and mid-install realized that the hardware you have does not work, but it is not fun. So super cool. Thank you, Tom Woods. Need a little love tap. Again, quick shout out to Chris Durham for ordering this for me. Chris Durham is a buddy of mine down in South Carolina. He's a Tom Woods drive shaft dealer, so call him up if you need any Tom Woods drive shafts. And thanks for Tom Woods drive shafts for getting me out of a bind and getting me a custom length, custom ended drive shaft. And now I don't have anything to worry about, so cool. All right, we're a few weeks closer to Moab now. I am driving home in the Comanche to pull it apart when I get home. I just have to change out my upper control arm bushing. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get back to the shop. But yeah, it just needs to change. I wasn't going to change it before we came, but the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, man, that thing is roached. Like, it does not look good at all. And I only have a 3-link, I don't have a 4-link, so definitely don't want anything bad to happen there. So we're gonna go home, change that out, and then hopefully we're done. So hold on, let me shift here, guys. Sorry, stick shift life. So yeah, hopefully after that we're done. The truck leaves on Monday. Today is Wednesday, so I have 4-ish days before it has to be on a trailer heading to EJS. And then we're gonna fly out there April 2nd, and then we will do EJS there. So it's gonna be a good time, and I just hope that this bushing doesn't fight me the entire time trying to change it out. So we'll see. All right, we're back at the shop. This is the bushing that I'm talking about. So this goes in the actual differential casting on a TJ Dana 44 axle. This one is a 9/16 bolt, which is what I run on all of the links on my Jeep. The one I have currently, the bushing material that you see around this sleeve, like the rubber cleveite area, it is just mangled. So we have to push this one. These are press fit, so we have to push the one I have in there right now out and then press this one in. I rented a ball joint press from O'Reilly's, and I think that'll get it done. That's how I put it in the axle when I first built the axle, but I did that with the axle out of the Jeep. So looking at it, it's definitely a lot more cramped in there than it was when I put it in there. But hopefully we can get it done. So let's check it out. So this is the problem child we're talking about. You can see this is actually the better side. So this bushing material is totally coming out of there. And then on this side, if I can fit you up in there, you can see it's just horrible looking. So like I said, I only have a 3-link, so I only have one upper control arm. I don't have another one over here. So if this one fails, it's pretty catastrophic. You know, you lose your pinion angle, you're probably going to destroy your drive shaft. Just a lot of bad things happen if that happens. So we want to avoid that. So we're going to get set up here and try to get this guy pulled out of here. you're gonna say, that bolt's way too long. And you're right, but I don't care. All right, so we got the bushing in, bolts tightened down, all that stuff. I'm gonna drive it to work tomorrow and hopefully everything's flowing good. Next time you see us, we will be meeting with Brad at Warren Winches, and he's gonna take this out to Moab on Monday is when he's gonna head out. So Monday we're gonna meet up with him, put this thing on a trailer and send it out to Moab, where we'll meet it after we fly in. So yeah, we'll see you when we're loading her up.